सब्सक्राइब कीजिए ध्येय IAS चैनल को और बेल आइकन को दबाइए लेटेस्ट वीडियो सबसे पहले देखने के लिए।
The army has moved in to take over the COVID-19 quarantine facility at Narela in Delhi. Everyone from their sides are trying to help in this crucial situation. The primary role of the army is to ensure the external security of the country, but it also has a secondary task to do when called upon to do so. It has the task of providing aid to civil authorities when it is required. The procedure for calling the armed forces to help the civil administration is in the spotlight. In this edition of our DNS, we'll know about the armed forces and their role during this outbreak. The current situation of the coronavirus cases is very different and a critical one. Checking the spread also is a different case as the medical aspect is predominant. As we all know that medical facilities are an important factor in this case, these medical facilities are being controlled judiciously by the center. But apart from medical facilities, there is requirement of facilities at the ground level for various other aspects. For this, the army has been called for help during the lockdown period. There are certain procedures that needs to be followed before taking help from the army. In these situations, there are certain procedures that needs to be followed before taking help from the army in these types of situations. The regulations permit civil authorities to requisition the army for controlling law and order, maintaining essential services, assisting during natural calamities such as earthquakes and any other type of help that may be needed by the civil authorities. The procedure for requisitioning armed forces is governed under Aid to Civil Authorities under the guidelines laid in Instructions on Aid to the Civil Authorities by the Armed Forces 1970, Regulations for the Army Chapter 7, Paragraphs 301 to 327, and Manual of Indian Military Law Chapter 7. Civil Administration requests the local military authority for assistance for the maintenance of law and order, maintenance of essential services, disaster relief and other types of assistance. Armed forces can be asked to provide troops and equipments for a flag march, rescue and relief, evacuation, and immediate aid. The local units are prepared for maintenance of law and order, crowd control, curfew in sensitive areas, evacuation of civilians from affected areas, provisions of essential supply of electricity and water, restoration of essential services, emergency feeding and shelter, prevention of panic, prevention of theft and loot, guarding quarantine locations and detention centers, surveillance through drones, aerial platform, and other miscellaneous tasks. Now let us know what the armed forces have done so far regarding this case. There are 15 facilities on standby, among which 6 are under the Army, 6 are under the Indian Air Force, and 3 under the Indian Navy. 51 armed forces hospitals are prepared, dedicating to COVID-19 facilities, including high-efficiency units and ICU beds. 5 testing labs at armed forces hospitals made part of national grid. These are Army Hospital, Air Force Command Hospital Lucknow, and Command Hospital in Udhampur. 6 more hospitals to be equipped with the resources to begin COVID-19 testing. Special IAF flights have evacuated people and carried medical supplies. A C-17 Globemaster III has carried 15 tons of supplies to China and airlifted 125 persons including Indians on its return. From Iran, it brought back 58 stranded Indians. Also, C-130J Super Hercules aircraft has ferried 6.2 tons of medicines to Maldives. An Army Medical Corps team was deployed in Maldives. 60 tons of stores airlifted by Indian Air Force Transport Fleet has airlifted approximately to various parts of the country. 28 fixed wing and 21 helicopters are on standby. Lastly, 6 naval ships kept ready for assistance to neighboring countries. 5 medical teams also on standby for deployment in Maldives, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, and Afghanistan.